Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this day or night. So this is going to be a general reading for Capricorn. Okay, so it can cover things like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And this reading may also resonate for you even if you're not a sun, rising moon, or Venus Capricorn. Okay, since we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our birth chart, I always encourage everyone to check out their other placements because depending on what's going on currently in your life, you may resonate more with your rising sign or your moon sign. Okay, so it really just depends, or your sun sign, of course. All right, so we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment, Capricorn. I pulled all of your cards and even your oracle cards that we do at the very end. But I did want to go over a couple astrology notes first. So if you're not watching the live, later I will post a timestamp in the description box below of where exactly I start the tarot reading, in case other people have watched some of the other videos from this times series, right, the 1st to the 16th. So maybe they don't want to hear the astrology notes again. So I will be doing that later. What else? Yes. So I am in the process of moving. I haven't moved yet, obviously, but I'm moving in like 10 or 11 days is when my truck is coming. So that's why I've been, I always try to do my readings early too, but I'll keep you guys updated. And I'll try to take some video from my trip and from the move if I can, depending on my Wi-Fi and stuff. But what else was I going to say as far as your reading? I always take a picture at the end, right? One photo of all the cards for some people, just in case they want to pull it up while they watch or listen, or look at it in more detail at a later time. So if you want to do that after the live, I should be posting it, not too long after we're done here. And you can just click in the description box below and follow the instructions there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yes. So all the readings that I do are timeless, and that's why it's in the title. So for instance, for some of you guys, some of this could be stuff from the past. It could be 6 months ago, a year ago, or it could be stuff that hasn't happened yet, and sometimes it takes time for things to manifest. So it could be 6 months in the future, a year in the future. Okay, just as an example. So always keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the astrology notes. That's general for this time for everybody. All right. Okay. So between September 1st and the 16th is what we were talking about initially for this reading. So on September 6th, there's a new moon in Virgo, 14 degrees in Virgo. So when we talk about the astrological notes or astrology notes, right, we're talking about astrological transits, what the planets are doing, and then obviously we're going to talk about what the moon is doing. Okay. So some people like to do manifestations on the new moon. Some people do it on the full moon, and some people like me do it whenever. Okay, so whenever spirit calls you, or your angels, or just you yourself, your intuition tells you to do a manifestation, or set a goal, or do your magic, whatever you want to call it. That's when you should do it. Okay, but we just go down the list of the astrology notes. So there's that new moon in Virgo, since we're already in Virgo season now when I'm filming this. And then the new moon Virgo is on September 6th. Then on September 10th, Venus, which covers love and assets, okay, is going to be entering into water sign Scorpio. So there could be, for some of you guys, like some crossover themes with love, money, and assets, okay. Venus also deals with beauty a little bit too, okay, some like Libra energy there. But it's going to be mixed in with the Scorpio theme. So it could be some type of changes going on. It could be dramatic changes, whether they're big changes or small changes. It could have something to do with some secrets being exposed, or the opposite. It could be they're more tightly, held back in some way. Okay. But also the main thing of the Scorpio energy is that it's like a new beginning. It's It's the dying of the old and the rising of the new. Okay, so when you think of Scorpio and tarot, it's the death card. Okay, so we just mentioned it here briefly, but if you want to look into it more on your own, if you know already what your Venus placement is, like for instance, since we're doing Capricorn now, let's say your Venus is in Leo. Okay, you could look up what does Venus in Leo, what does it mean when Venus is in Scorpio for someone who's a Venus in Leo, that kind of thing. Okay, so anyway, I don't want to dwell too long, so let's move forward. And then on September 13th, we have a first quarter moon. Sorry, I'm like, first quarter moon. And then on September 14th, our last astrology note here is Mars enters into air sign Libra. Okay, so traditionally Mars is thought of as the god of war, right? Anger, frustration. Okay, but that's only one side of the Mars energy, because all things have positive and negative. So on the more positive side of Mars, since it rules Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is like this dynamic energy, leadership roles, like fresh start at the beginning. And so there could be something going on with either like leadership qualities with someone or in yourself or others, mixed in with also some anger, frustration. But when it's talking about Mars is entering into Libra, hopefully there will be more themes of balance, okay, equal give and take, justice, right? And also beauty, right? Because I was talking before about Venus has some Libra energy in it, but Libra really is more into the beauty themes more necessarily than Venus would be. All right. So again, if you're interested in more in it, all you have to do is like Google it, and you can find out like thousands of articles on these things. Okay. So I just like to mention it as a little note there. All right. But going forward here, Capricorn, let's get into your reading. Yes, first of all, if you're new, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back too. Both are equally important. So I'm going to do a quick sound bell here just for some grounding and healing for the reading. Sometimes it does get loud, so just keep that in mind. And then we'll get started. Okay. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen to. All right. All right, Capricorn. Let me just put this over here. Okay. And just turn the music up a little bit. It's mainly for my dogs. It's usually just some random instrumental music. So anyway, all right. So how I like to do it, if you've seen me before, you know the deal. But if you're new, I always just mention it just in case. So we start with the first main 6 cards here in the center. And then I work outwards to go over the tarot confirmation cards from another deck. And then also we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, depending on where my spirit guides tell me to talk to you guys about that. All right, so we'll go ahead and call them out, and then we'll go in order. And one more thing too, if this is not your energy, Capricorn, it could be the energy of a person you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, organization, or your general environment situation. And one other thing too is that this first row here is energy starting around September 1st. It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, it's not exact. Going through that first week of September and weekend. And then the second row is kind of the same deal here. So it is that second week and weekend of September. All right, so let's call out and see what we have here for you. We have Eight of Swords in the right side up position, the Hanged Man in reverse, Ace of Cups right side up, Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands right side up is what it's known in other decks, Prince of Cups right side up, and the Moon in reverse. Okay, so let's start here, Capricorn. It seems like the energy at the beginning of your reading is, a little bit of some type of warning or reminder of something here. Okay, so when we talk about the Eight of Swords, in the right side up position, you see this Japanese woman here. And this is the swords in tarot when they go down, that represents anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head, okay, something like that. So this woman is really thinking about a lot of things, okay, and so this has gotten maybe to the out of control point that it's at, right, because it's an Eight of Swords, it's not a Nine of Swords yet, but it's pretty close, okay, so Nine of Swords would be when it's like even keeping you up late at night, that kind of thing, okay, or keeping you whenever you sleep, right, keeping you from sleeping, okay, but it doesn't last long, and I always like to remind that to people because whether you're watching this for the original time period or you're watching this for the past or the future past, even the September 16th, right? That it could be a matter of days for some of this, or it can be months. But usually, everything I do believe happens for a reason, and everything is divine timing. And you also have some really good, amazing cards, so don't worry too much. But let's go into detail here before we move forward to your second card, Capricorn. We're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your deck here, your other deck. This is the Llewellyn deck with the yellow border, the one I use the confirmation cards for. So when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, this is energy from the recent past and why certain cards have shown up, like this Eight of Swords, okay? So on the top, you have the Hierophant in the right side up position, and then on the bottom, you have Four of Pentacles right side up. So this could be saying for some of you guys that in the recent past, there could have been a teacher, a mentor, a guide that you really looked up to, or somebody saw you in that way and you had some type of leadership roles, okay? But there was some type of like holding on to the power too much, holding on to the control of something too much. Also coming from possibly a place of lack where you feel like there's not enough abundance for yourself and others, okay? So you can really see that with this guy holding the pentacle really tight, and he's got one under each foot and one on his head, and he's like a squirrel, right? When they're like trying to get all the nuts, okay? Because I have another deck that deals with animals, and I think that's actually how they show the Four of Pentacles in the right side up position. But, this could be, if this isn't your energy, again, Capricorn, it could have been someone you were dealing with in the past, or just a past environment in some way, okay? But this is kind of what possibly has led to, this anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay, with the Eight of Swords upright. And also, when we talk about this energy from the past, you have to ask yourself what is recent. It could be a couple of days ago, a couple hours ago, a couple minutes ago, or years, right? It all kind of really depends. But let's keep going forward here, okay? And you do have, just as like a little foreshadowing into the future, as we go through the reading, you do have two repeating cards here in your reading today, so I'll tell you more about that later. But I might even add it to the title if I remember to. Anyway, going forward here, your second card is the Hanged Man in the reverse position, or in this one, it's called the Hanged One, okay? So this is saying here, Capricorn, that there could be, like somebody resisting looking at something from a new perspective, somebody resisting some type of growth, right, with the way that the fetus baby here is shown, the way the card is depicted, okay? So when it's right side up, it's about looking at something from a different perspective, angle, point of view, right? And getting more grounded in your roots. When it's in reverse, it's a lack of that, or reminding you that you need that, or the person you're dealing with does, okay? And it could just be as simple as that you need to stop worrying, right? Or you need to stop overthinking because it's following the Eight of Swords, right? It could just be as simple as that, okay? And I feel that it really is like that for you. I mean, it's not so simple to tell someone, right, to stop worrying, but hopefully, if it can be a friend or family member or partner or something, there could be a gentle way to just kind of remind you to let some of that go and come more in balance with your mental, your physical body, and your spiritual body. Okay. Because when you do that, and I feel like you will be able to, Capricorn, your third card is the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. Okay. So this energy is about abundance, forward momentum, right? And also the water in the tarot represents our emotions. Okay. So there's a lot of emotions that could also be why you had that Eight of Swords too, right? Because she has water, very small on the back of her card too. Okay. So it could be that once you start to get your emotions more in control here, Capricorn or the other person, right? And have things more in balance, and breathe, right? I always feel when I see a whale, okay, I don't know why it always is like, probably because whales and dolphins, right? They have the blowhole and that's how they breathe. And I don't know, I really like the ocean in general and animals, right? But it just came to me like, you need to breathe more. Okay, when I saw that whale in the background. I mean, everybody does, right? And a good breath, not just like, obviously we're alive, we're still breathing, but a deep breath, okay? But this card, this Ace of Cups, when it comes up, it also talks about having this like resiliency energy. Okay. So it could be that, when we talk about the recent past, there could have been like a difficult environment or situation or person that you were dealing with, but despite that, okay, Capricorn, you were still able to manifest and move forward, and that's really beautiful. Okay. Now, your fourth card is another ace. You have two aces in your reading, like that in itself speaks a lot, okay, for good things coming, all right? So here's your Ace of Spades, also known as Ace of Wands, okay? It's about creativity, positive energy, forward momentum, again, okay? It also talks about, some type of birth of a new project, a relationship, whatever you're currently trying to work on, even if it's something that you started in the past, it could be a new stage of that moving forward. Because normally when you see the wands or staves, right, there's like this phallic energy to it. So, if you are a woman and you are like looking to want to have children or whatever, I'd always say like, be careful at this time because you're going to be more fertile, okay, if that's not something you want. But for everybody else, it's like a metaphor for like, like I said, just having the birth of something or the beginning stages or planting the seeds or however you want to say it of a new phase of something, okay? But either way, it's really nice energy here, Capricorn, and this could be, since this is your third and your fourth card, both the aces, it could be the end, like the weekend of the first week of September and then the beginnings of the second week of September, okay? But it's not exact. Now, before we go forward, actually, this is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, the one that we use for the main six, okay? Just turning up my music 1 second. There we go. Good enough, whatever. I can barely hear it, but it's there. So there's more for the dogs. All right. So again, when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, this is past energy, why certain cards have come out, okay? Or just past energy lingering around. So what we have in the recent past, again, you have to ask yourself what is recent, a couple days ago, hours, months, years, okay? We have the Three of Sacred Circles, also known as the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Empress in the right side up position. Right off the bat, I forgot even when I was saying it, when we were talking about, the phallic energy of the Ace of Spades or Ace of Wands and planting seeds for the future. And then look, there's the Empress, right? She's pregnant in this picture. So planting seeds for the future. She hasn't given birth yet, okay? But there are like new beginnings on the horizon kind of energy, okay? So even though this is past energy, it could be that when you put them together like that, like I said, if it's something that you already started in the past year, Capricorn, you're moving it along, and it still isn't all the way completed, but you're still in like the beginning stages or the middle or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now, really quickly before we go forward, we also want to talk about this Three of Sacred Circles in the reverse, or Three of Pentacles in reverse. The way that I feel for you this time is more about maybe in the recent past, Capricorn, you, along with that like Ace of Cups energy of being really resilient in a difficult environment or situation, maybe in the recent past you isolated yourself a little bit. You can see there's other huts really small in the background here, but this one's all by itself, okay? And that's not good, right? Because we all need, other people in our life. We're all made of the same energy, and sometimes we have to be reminded about, the other energy around us and within ourselves. Anyway, it's kind of like hard to say what I mean, but hopefully you know what I mean, right? Like we all need some type of sense of community, okay, or support system with friends or family or whatever it is, okay? So, when you start to have this in the reverse position, I feel like hopefully for you, that means that in the recent past, you realized that and you started to not isolate yourself as much, okay? And you started to see things from a larger perspective, and know that when you are supported and when you ask for help when you need it or give it to others, that it actually makes you more powerful and more abundant, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, all right? But these are kind of energies that led to your second ace here, okay? All right. Now, going forward, you have the Prince of Cups here in the right side up position as your fifth card, all right? And so this talks about some type of communication possibly for some of you guys. Could be medium-sized communication since it's a prince, right? It's not a page, which would be lower, and it's not a king above, okay? So it could be that you gave a medium-sized communication to someone, or someone gave you a medium-sized communication. What is a medium-sized communication? It could be like you used to only email with someone, and now you're like talking on the phone, or you had a certain level of vulnerability when you talk to someone, and now it's deeper, or whatever it means for you, right? Just like the next step up, okay? And then if it's not a communication, again, from you yourself or someone to you, it could also just be a communication from the universe, like a medium-sized opportunity. Again, you have to ask yourself, what does medium-sized opportunity mean? But it could be going from entry level to, I don't even know, CEO, or going from manager to CEO, or, whatever it may be, okay? But regardless of all those things we just talked about, this is actually, again, for momentum, positive energy. He's galloping on his horse forward, okay? And he's also, he's got his cup upright. So he knows what makes him happy. He knows what fulfills him. He knows what his priorities are. And he's also, it almost looks like he's going into a storm, right? Sometimes I forget to talk about that with this card, okay? So in the past, and the stuff behind him is all sunny, but he's going into the storm. But he doesn't necessarily look scared or like worried too much, because he's got his cup right side up. He knows what makes him happy, fulfilled, and he's also open to learning new things, right? Since he's a prince and not a king, okay? So all these are beautiful energy, however you find yourself in it, okay? And this could be Capricorn more towards the middle of that second week of September, okay? Now, going forward, your sixth card here, let me just fix that there so I don't get confused, is the moon in the reverse position, okay? And this is actually a really nice position to have this card in, okay? The way that I feel it for you, okay? Because when the moon is right side up, it's not seeing things clearly, but it's also a very creative card. It's looking for wisdom, trying to find it, okay? So for you, I feel like you are going to find it even more on a deeper level, more towards the end of that second week, or even second weekend of September, okay? And I feel like you also get more information, okay? Something comes to light here. You come out of any past or current illusions within yourself or dealing with other people or your environment situation, okay? But I really see it as a good thing. So with that being said now, let's go ahead and get into your confirmation cards, okay? So I'll call them out and then we'll kind of go in order here. So you have the Four of Swords in the right side up position, the Hanged Man in the right side up position, and the Empress in the reverse position. All right, so the first two confirmation cards is energy from the past. And then the third one that we'll talk about at the end is kind of past and future energy, okay? So with this Four of Swords in the right side up position in the recent past here, Capricorn, you could have been really focusing on grounding yourself, getting more rest, okay, which was going to help you and usually does help people in some ways, not everything, right? The more rest you get and take care of your mind, body, spirit, the less confused you can be about things, okay, going on. Like I said, it doesn't help everything, but it does help, your brain process things better when you get enough rest and sleep and good food and all those things, okay? And then for the other side of you guys, it could be also talking about this energy that in the recent past you put something to rest that you didn't want in your life anymore. Because, sometimes you see this as this woman laying on top of a grave, okay? And we also have this like ghostly figure in the background, like a blanket or a sheet over these swords. And then you have the woman who is the tree. And it looks like you actually do see a gravestone in the very back of the card. I don't know if you guys can see it, like right above the swords there, okay? So it could be that some of you guys were putting something to rest and ending something that maybe you felt like wasn't good for you anymore, or something had run its course, okay? Something like that. But regardless of how you find yourself, if you're in the first category or the second one, or maybe even both, right? There's loyalty around you with the dog here in the bottom of the card too, all right? But when this Four of Swords is coming in here and it's confirming the Eight of Swords upright and the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands upright, okay? This is basically saying that, like I was mentioning before, if you don't get enough rest, the swords will multiply. And it kind of looks like that, right? Because you go from 4 swords to 8, okay? So making sure you get enough rest, balancing your mind, body, and spirit as much as you can, okay? Because that will help you see things more clearly, okay? It doesn't solve everything, but it does help the brain, right? No matter how old you are. All right. Now, when we also talk about the Four of Swords upright with this Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands upright, it could be that all this rest that you're getting, that you started to work on in the recent past, or putting something to rest in the recent past actually kind of paved the way. You all right, Hermes? Sorry, my dog's over there, like coughing something up. This could have been this Four of Swords, like paving the way for this Ace of Staves energy of abundance, creativity, right? Birthing something new, planting the seeds, okay, because of putting something to rest and ending something that maybe wasn't necessarily healthy for you anymore or had just like run its course, all right? Yes, and then this is your first repeating card here. So you have, and I'll show it to you together with this one and then the other one in a second. Remember how I was saying before that the Hanged one in this deck is also the Hanged Man, right? Just one word difference, okay? So this Hanged Man here in the past is in the right side up position, and the one in the more future current energies is in reverse, right? So when we were talking about how in the recent past, you yourself or someone you're dealing with, a general environment situation, was more grounded, was more open to seeing something in a new perspective, viewpoint, angle, okay? But here in the future, there's a little bit of that blockage in that first week, okay? Or someone just needed to kind of gently come in there and remind you to let go of any anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay? All right. Damn commercials. Okay. Now, when we also talk about the Hanged Man, confirming also the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, this is just saying, again, the more you can ground yourself, Capricorn, take care of your mind, body, spirit, get enough rest, all of those things. Be open to looking at something from a different perspective. This will bring in more communications from other people, from yourself, how you vulnerable communicate with others, okay? It also will bring in more opportunities from the universe, the more grounded you are and the more open you are to looking at life or just certain things in general in a different angle of view, okay? All right, now let's talk about your last confirmation card here, and this is your second repeating card, all right? So this is the Empress in the reverse position here. And again, this is past and future energy here, Capricorn. Okay, and I want to put it together with, yes, here we go. Your, well, actually, yeah, this is your past. Let me show you when I show it to you. Let me show you when I show it to you. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Okay, so this is past energy, the Empress in the right side up position. And then in the reverse position, it's past and future. Anyway, it's just a reminder, okay? So when we were talking about in the past, planting the seeds for the future, being in control of your emotions in a healthy way, and being more creative and open and that feminine energy coming in, okay? Basically, I just like to show too how, let me turn this one right side up just for a second so how you can see how both the artists, depict them in different ways, okay? So one's pregnant, the other one isn't, but that's all right. It's just, how they do it. But basically, when we talk about, let me just put this back here. When we talk about the Empress in reverse position, it's for me when it's coming in here. And remember, this is a confirmation card. It's confirming the Ace of Cups upright and the Moon in reverse, okay? So for me, this is like, yes, getting your emotions in control, like we just mentioned, being able to manifest in difficult environments or different people's difficult situations, okay? When it comes together, though, with the Moon card in reverse, and we're coming out of illusions, we're getting more information, we're getting wisdom and creativity back. For me, the way that I look at the Empress in reverse here for your reading, the Empress also is, and I forgot to mention this earlier, she's the businesswoman of the tarot, okay? She's like that boss CEO energy, okay? And again, you don't have to be a woman, it's just a metaphor of the card. When it's in reverse with the Moon here, it's not necessarily like you aren't planting seeds for the future, or you aren't creative, or you're not feeling support and having the tools all around you. Yes, right on the bell there. For me, because it also came out a little bit in one of your oracle cards, but we'll get into that in just a minute. I had to put some back because you got so many cards this time, Capricorn. But for me, it's more about letting go of control. It has something to do with this new information that might come in at the end of that, at the end of the second week of September, or weekend of September, where you get some more information, you get more wisdom, you get more light around the situation. For me, with the Empress in reverse, it's like let go of control. You don't have to be the boss all the time. You don't have to be the CEO all the time. That's really how I feel it. And it kind of also goes back to, yes, the in the recent past, your Four of Pentacles upright, right? If you look at, both of them right side up, they're talking about control. Coming from, this one is not coming from a place of fear or a lack mentality, right? But here, the way that I see it for you with the Moon card, I really feel like it's not a fearful place, but it's just like let go of the reins a little bit here, Capricorn. Let somebody else, control some things, okay? So again, always take it how it resonates for you if it does. All right, now we can go ahead and get into your oracle cards before you go, because I don't want to go over time too much. So I'll do this one at the end. Okay, yeah. So your first oracle card, which is, which one is this? It is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms oracle deck. Anyway, you can find all the info in the description box below of which cards I use. Anyway, it's the Hungry Ghost, okay? And so it talks about obsessions, scarcity, consciousness, and attachments, okay? And you see these two little fairy women, and they're kind of sitting on these mushrooms here in the forest. So yeah, we were just talking about coming from a place of fear or lack mentality. That was that Four of Pentacles in the recent past. I've never heard it say it quite like that, but yeah, scarcity consciousness is excuse me, is another way to say that, right? And also too many attachments. He's literally holding on to too many things, okay? And so also could be obsessed, like controlling energy turns into obsession sometimes, okay? So I felt like this was just kind of picking up maybe where you were before, or someone else's energy or the general environment situation before. Because then the next one that came out from the same oracle deck, okay, is the cosmos, okay? And there you see the moon again. And so it talks about that creativity and the vastness, the space, okay? The world is full of possibilities. So really beautiful here, all right? And also, since you had the moon card in reverse, and that's how you want to see that card, right? We talked about that before, is that the more creativity you can get and feel like you're being open to all the possibilities of the universe, the more wisdom you can get and the more control of your emotions you can get as well, okay? All right. So we did those first two. Now your third oracle card is your love oracle message, okay? So whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family, or even self-love, okay? Your oracle love message is finances and career. So it says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, okay? So that could be a particular message. So also you could change it and say that financial issues are a factor in me being able to have more time or a deeper level of vulnerability with friends or family right now, okay? And the same thing goes for self-love. Financial issues are a factor in how much love I can give to myself right now or work on my self-love, okay? So however you find yourself there, all right, if it does resonate. And then your last oracle card from the Sacred Rebels right here, oracle deck, I'll read the quick meditation that goes with the card. But it's really pretty here, Capricorn. You see this woman, you know, it looks like she's underwater and there's some birds that you can see right above the surface of the water, okay? But it says against the grain, okay? So going against the grain. All right, so I'll just go ahead and read this really quickly here for you. It says, close your eyes and relax. Take 7 deep breaths in and out as you bring your awareness into your body and the space that exists within your body. When you are relaxed, imagine, sense, or perceive a winding river of golden light that starts below your feet. Sense it gathering there as a pool of liquid golden energy. It has an intelligence of its own, and it winds its way into beautiful patterns before you, flowing with grace and playfulness. This river of light symbolizes your life journey. Just notice it and enjoy. See that your life journey is unique. You may focus on your own river of life or expand your awareness to sense the rivers of light that represent the journeys of those around you. You may see, sense, or feel that their paths are unique to them also. No one has the exact same journey to take, even though we are all heading towards one destination of ultimate love or absolute love. All right, and then it says, say the following aloud. I honor myself. I honor the truth that I express through my very being. I accept the protection that I am offered so that I may go against the grain from a place of love and as an invitation invitation for others to be open to life. And then it says, so be it. And then it says, when you're ready, simply open your eyes and sit quietly with your hand on your heart for a moment and think about this healing process. All right. So yeah, that's really a nice message at any time. So I like it when it talks about everybody's path, is a little bit different and unique to them, but we're all ultimately trying to get to the place of, deeper love and more love. All right. So anyway, Capricorn, those are your messages at this time. Thank you so much, as always, for your views, for your energy, for your likes. It does help the channel and circulate the video. And for your comments, if you want to comment, you're always welcome. I know some people don't want to do that, which is totally cool. But also, besides the likes, helping circulate the videos, it also lets me know that you resonate with this video if you don't want to comment. What else? Oh, yes. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like this video and want to, you can also subscribe for free. It's like following on Facebook or Instagram. So you can just click the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure that it's blue and active, and it'll notify you when I put out new videos. Also, too, I'm trying to remember, if you don't have on your TV or your tablet or phone the option to have YouTube notify you of new videos, then you basically just won't see the video until next time you're on YouTube, which is no big deal. You have to do what you feel comfortable with. Some people don't want to be notified all the time. But if you do that, then you have more of a chance to see them more frequently as they come out or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take a quick break and then come back a little later this evening to do Aquarius and Pisces. So you're always welcome to join me there too if you want, or not. That's okay too. So you guys, I will see you guys later, and take care. All right, bye.